Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel. My name is Michael Everett and today we'll be watching Doctor Who. In last week's episode we had the Doctor and Belinda go to Nigeria where the Doctor met up with his old friend Omo. They fought with a story writer who wanted to take revenge on the gods. They turned that whole thing around, blew up the ship and escaped, and everybody lived happily ever after, at least according to my headcanon. This is the last episode before the finale, and I've heard from Russell T Davies that this is an episode that we should see as soon as possible to avoid spoilers, so that's exactly what I'm doing. I live on the East Coast of the United States, and it is 3 in the morning, so I'm tired. After rewatching last week's episode, I have a newfound appreciation for it. I think better understanding the story itself really did help with that. This episode I'm hoping is a little bit more straightforward. Not that I'm too exhausted that I won't understand what's going on, but more so that I just want to watch it, enjoy it, and see what's up. I heard that this story is a lot darker than they were anticipating, or at least that we should be anticipating. So that's something that I'm definitely looking forward to. So I'm just going to jump right into it. Without further ado, this is Doctor Who Season 2 or 15, Episode 6, The Interstellar Song Contest. Oh wow, look at the space station. That's huge. The Harmony Arena. Oh, this feels like the opening to Wicked or something. Alright, so that's how they explain it. Cryogenic suspension for Ryan. I can't. That they froze this guy, had him in suspended animation. Oh, look, some new aliens. Love aliens. They're having a good time. I love that the TARDIS is landing in its own little box. Alright, so she's got these horn things, and I've seen a picture of a guy in the previews of wearing those horn things. Oh. Alright, so here's Mrs. Flood. So is she actually gonna do something today? She's been in space this whole time and she's still shocked at being in a space station. I think that's so funny.
We're inside a bubble on a station in
This is so beautiful. So what is she doing?
it's too late now.
So is she trying to hitch a ride with him? I'm a little confused.
Thank you. What's phase one?
I love how they're... Oh, what's phase 1 and they're just shooting people. Okay. Well, that's phase 1. Oh. Hi.
Who the hell are you?
Kid.
Transmission drones.
Okay, so he's doing a stakeout and he's taking over the arena. So the question is what is he up to? Oh. Not the Hellions or whatever they're called. I kind of like his energy, even though he's kind of taking over the place or whatever. Okay, so he's jumping into action, so he knows something's up. Oh! He said you will give us access. Why am I nervous for these people? She's just here to have a good time. She thinks it's just a normal show.
Let's raise the roof.
Okay. So he just shut you. Why is there just one switch to switch off the roof? I feel that's kind of bad design. So does Miss Flood not know about this? She's looking confused. Oh! Oh my god. Just all these people are getting sucked into space. Oh my god. Oh shit! Not the TARDIS. So Belinda's fine, but the TARDIS is flying off into space with the Doctor. The visuals of this, oh my god. How many people did they just kill? He's very calm for somebody who got blasted into space. Holy shit, this took such a turn. I thought it would take longer to get there, but this happened immediately. Okay, so he's using something called the Delta Wave. Okay, so Belinda made it. So did these people.
How do we?
Yo, she is so shooketh. I would be too.
Oh my god. On my own. And I'm no one. Hey, you're alive.
Yeah, calm down, girl. This is more human, and this is definitely more of a reaction, but keep it calm, girl.
Linda, I'm Cora.
Oh, I love Korra. Shout out to my Legend of Korra fans.
My friend.
Okay, so here's the Doctor just freezing Got any Time Lord powers? Mrs. Flood, you want to make an intervention? The TARDIS, you want to do something?
Go back. Father, go back.
Susan? 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 Okay, so I'm assuming because they're blasting space, they have like air. Yes. Woo. So Susan spoke to him.
Yeah. Camp.
The question is, what is this?
It's going to blow their minds.
Literally? Literally, like, blow up their minds? Like, kill a bunch of people? Is it literally gonna make their heads explode? Oh, he has blood coming out of his nose. So is that noise supposed to, like, fry their brains, basically?
They're gonna kill them all.
Kill 3 trillion people? So, is it all to get revenge? Is she gonna be Hellion?
About species they don't understand.
She's gonna be Hellion. Not Graham Norton.
Belinda would have loved this.
So he thinks Belinda's dead. She thinks he's dead.
Friend, I'm her protector.
This Susan, what is going on with this? Quick theory, is Belinda Susan? And are her parents the doctor's kids that he doesn't know about? Because it's confusing, at least that's what he explained. That Susan cameo's crazy work.
Your body out into the
Yes.
and I will stand and watch you freeze to death.
He's dark.
That's not him. The delta wave is at 95%. You need to enter the final calibration.
That's interesting. She said that's not him. Is it because she's used to him not being so, like, violent? Has she ever seen him do something so dark? He's been dark before, but I don't know if he's been dark with her around. Oh, she got her horns removed.
This is the contest.
Okay.
He's out to get revenge.
Well, that's more than obvious. But I blame the viewer for something that the corporation is doing that they might not know about. It's crazy that on a planet of people she happens to know these two. That's kind of interesting. Unless it's like a small population.
I'm not helping you.
Oh,
Help
shoot.
everyone else. Then that gathering is 7.
He found out she's a Hellion and it's like over.
Working, then
Done. You're on your own.
Space racist.
When the device hits 100,
No, She-Hulk.
the corporation
Oh,
will be
there's those
remembered
two.
for a massacre.
He's about to turn it around on him.
Well, Doctor. If you insist.
A hologram. He does not care. Oh, damn. He is so dark sometimes. Oh, shoot. So is he trying to kill him, or is he just trying to... Because in my head, I'm like, okay, like, stun him. Oh, my God. So he's, like, losing his conscience. But I kind of like it. Come on, Belinda, you've got to stop him. Oh, damn. She saw the dark side of the Doctor, the one who took too much power. But I kind of like that turn. I kind of like... See, he needs a companion to keep him human. He thought she died, or at least was in suspended animation. Damn, this is a dark episode. I don't think that is a lie. I think they will be seeing him again. I like this guy as a villain. He is, like, messing with this man's mind. What is going on? Like, he is, like, having a crisis.
Gary,
Not Gary's saving everyone.
I'd do anything for you. Gary. Anything?
No. Not this man having, like, a crush for the Doctor. Okay, so they're basically using a gravity suck beam.
Hey, Mike, I'll do anything for you. Back of the queue.
Oh my God. Not them both fawning after the Doctor.
Balanced.
I can't. Please,
Just reviving everybody. They went from all almost dying to living and being okay. So they just tried to kill 3 trillion people, and she is getting a more effective message out, I think. She has a beautiful voice singing a song that doesn't have, I don't know if this is any specific language, but it, damn, that's so depressing. See, all's well that ends well, right?
I don't think I've ever told you. You're wonderful.
I'm glad that she's getting to say that. I really, 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 really like them.
Never really know what you're thinking.
There's some apprehension there.
This image.
Grandfather?
So is she on the TARDIS?
Also dogs, cats, ferrets, polar bears, and measles.
Oh my god, it's grave knowledge.
He's gonna tell them that it ended,
Poor old ended on the old Earth date, May the 24th, 2025.
which is next week. She said, The TARDIS is denying this. The cloister bell? They're gonna open it, it's gonna be something like grinding up against it.
That is the sound of May the 24th.
And Mrs. Flood.
I'm afraid my double brainstem froze.
Lethal for a time.
But I've got
Oh.
my own knack for survival. I suppose I should
Oh.
some famous loves.
My god.
How about
Let battle begin.
Not the bi-generation.
Must we? How inelegant. Oh, I'm ever so sorry, man.
What is going on?
Well, they never taught me that at nursing school.
Oh, so they bi-generated. Is this the master? Is this the Ronnie? Who is this?
We've bi-generated, evidently.
How did you...
Who is this?
You both the same person?
unfortunately, yes, our name is the
The Ronnie!
She's become a Ronnie, while I'm the Ronnie.
Oh,
The definite article, so to speak.
that's crazy.
Have you got the Vindicator readings? Yeah, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. Then come with me, Mrs. Flood. Out of the way, boys. Because I have a date to attend.
Oh my god.
As for the doctor, I will bring him absolute terror. That's what I said. Shut up.
Oh my god. Well, that is now a mystery that we no longer have. So that is who Mrs. Flood is. She is the Ronnie, which is actually a theory that I've heard. There's so many different options that she could have been. Everybody was thinking it was going to be like she was some kind of a god. My own personal thought is I thought she was going to be some kind of god of storytelling, but turns out she's the Ronnie. God, what a reveal. And it's very interesting that she bi-generated just like the doctor did. I don't know if that means that like going forward, every doctor is going to bi-generate. Because if that's the case, then I want to know like why they keep bi-generating. And also I want to know, does Mrs. Flood have something to do with what is happening on Earth? Because clearly there is something going on. Does she cause it? Does the Ronnie have something to do with it? We don't know. That is a character that has not been in the show since the 80s. This episode had a lot of hints at different things going on, different people, different reveals. First of all, the first big reveal is that the doctor is thinking about Susan, and they had Carol Ann Ford. And I never watched classic Who, so for me this is kind of like from what I know about her from watching clips, knowing about the show, seeing things from the past. Same with the Ronnie. The things I know about the Ronnie are basically things I've learned from clips that I've seen on YouTube or explanations about her. When I was first learning about like Mrs. Flood, there was like theories going around about who she was, and some were thinking that she was a god, some were thinking she was a time lady. Now, there was a scene from, I think it was from either The Legend of Ruby Sunday. I believe it was The Legend of Ruby Sunday, where Mrs. Flood comes into the house and she says something along the lines of like, oh, I'm always hiding myself away. And then like a couple of hours before that, like the doctor had said something about like, oh, it's time Lords hide ourselves away, or we find a way of hiding ourselves away, something to that effect. So because they said that, it led me to believe that she was a Time Lord. My thought was that she was going to end up being Susan. For some reason in my head, she was like Susan who got corrupted, which is why when they were showing Susan, I was like, oh my God, it's going to be Susan. But then it ends up being the Ronnie, which again, I don't know much about the Ronnie. I know she's some kind of scientist lady. My personal view, so again, this is probably completely wrong, but again, as a person who didn't watch the original OG version, just learned things from like watching YouTube videos about it, the Ronnie was basically the master, but more of a mad scientist, less of a madman. So that's kind of where she's at. There was a part of me that thought she might have been the master and not the Ronnie, but it's very interesting that they chose to go with the Ronnie line. Wow, so we have another Time Lord, and on top of that, she's been following the Doctor, vindicating. I don't know if her goal is the same as the Doctor's. I don't know if she's trying to save Earth or if she's the destroyer of Earth. Regardless, the finale starts next week. I'm sure there's more oohs and ahs to be had. Wow, what a fantastic episode. This season has been so good. Just everything has been going up and up and up and up. And something that I think this episode had that the other ones didn't is that this one felt like it had great pacing. I feel like even last week's, which had a good story, the pacing felt just a tiny bit off. Lucky Day, really good story, but like that middle section just snap and it happened real fast. That pacing was a little bit off. It's always like, it felt like they were trying to cram too much into such a short section. This episode felt very well paced. You had a really good like entrance, a really good middle, a really good conclusion, and then you had the stuff afterwards, learning that something's going on the Earth. The last thing we saw of the Doctor is the TARDIS doors blowing in on themselves. And the other things we have going on is the freaking Ronnie, this lady that I know nothing about. So I don't know why I'm acting surprised. I don't know nothing about this lady. I'm excited to learn about her. I'm excited to see what modern Doctor Who does with the Ronnie, and see if she's similar to the Master or if she's more of her own character. Regardless, it was interesting that after the bi-generation happened, they kind of took on like a main role and a side role, and it leads me to believe that maybe we'll be seeing David Tennant next week. Maybe at the finale we'll be seeing the Doctor regenerate or bi-generate. Lots of confusing things going on here. God, they said there's going to be some reveals this episode, and I'm glad I was warned ahead of time because that is wild. Wow, yeah, this was a great, well-paced, really good executed story with some good storylines and like a good message. I think the message is kind of pertinent to today, so I think with everything going on in the world, that having a message that's like, hey, we sometimes need to look at what is going on in the world and maybe give light and give voice to people who are suffering, especially because like these Hellion people were seen as like awful people, and the guy was like, oh, because of the horns. It's all sorts of things. And then the one Cora's, I know her name, Cora's manager person, he started saying all this awful stuff like, oh yeah, they're like witches and I heard they're cannibals and da 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 da, and have this like really negative connotation of what the Hellions were, but turns out like they're just like normal people who had their planet taken over. So when they had her at the end singing, and then it kind of like ended with an eruption of an applause, and then they finally get the Vindicator to work, and they finally latch onto Earth in May of 2025, which is next week. They were able to like zoom in and get back to Earth, and apparently something has gone terribly wrong. Cannot wait to find out. I just have a good feeling that this season has been one of the best so far, if I'm being honest. Even the Mrs. Flood situation, she kind of like, I noticed online a lot of people were irked by her throughout the season, and even at times I was just kind of like, oh, here we go again with Mrs. Flood. But this time, because apparently she was out in space and it caused her to regenerate, when she said my 2 brain stems, I was like, oh, she's a Time Lord. And then bam, the Ronnie. How exciting. This episode, top of my list. Cannot wait to watch next week's episode, which we'll finally get to start to uncover what's been going on Earth. If I were to put this episode in a ranking, it's automatically at the top. This episode 8, what a great, fantastic episode. Even if I wasn't reacting as much as I normally do, like, there's just so much going on, and it was, again, well paced, well executed, loved it. Cannot wait to see how this season lands. I feel like they've done such a fantastic job throughout the season that if they can land this finale, which, let's be real, they crashed and burned last season. I feel like Legend of Ruby Sunday was a good setup, and I was very excited, and then it ended just kind of like, I feel like Empire of Death kind of like, even for me, a diehard fan, was kind of like a little bit of a letdown. I was kind of like, really? To me, the only episode worse than that episode was Space Babies. Because when I watched Space Babies, I was like, oh, no, this is not going to be good. And then, every episode after that made up for it. This episode, ooh, juicy, spicy, love the reveals, very excited for next week. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one.